Welcome to the Every Temple podcast. My name is Tony, and this is my co-host Janelle.
Hello.
And together we want to talk about every temple of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Thank you for joining us. Elder Stevenson said, "You are never lost when you can see the temple. The temple will provide direction for you and your family in a world filled with chaos. It is an eternal guidepost which will help you from getting lost in the mist of darkness." So how are we doing today?
Great.
So good?
It's always a good day when I get to learn about new temples.
Oh yeah, we do love to learn about new temples. Do you know this is our 16th episode?
That's amazing.
I know. I'm very impressed with us. 16 is a milepost for me because they dedicated 16 temples last year.
Oh.
And so I feel like, we're keeping up. But
okay.
Also, I learned that last year was the second busiest for temple dedications. So that's a lot, but it is actually a lot.
I started looking through the temples and when they were dedicated in 1999 and 2000 had a lot.
Yeah, 2000 is going to be a whole season for us, but It's 34 temples.
Wow. That's a lot.
Yep, it is a lot. So looking forward to getting there.
I think they're all like the mini ones.
Yeah, probably. We'll see. We'll get there when we get there. But anyway, I'm excited that we're halfway through our second season and we made it to 16.
That's awesome.
It's going to be so good.
My milestone is how many temples were built when I was born.
Which is when?
Really soon.
Okay. We're getting there. So yeah, I'm just really excited. For temple news, I know the Auckland, New Zealand temple is going to be dedicated next month.
Okay.
But I found this article about how they're building temples now. And it's not recent, but it explains kind of how they're doing it so quickly. And this is from Bishop Waddell. He says, "With the large number of temples under construction, we have some beautiful plans that have been authorized by the First Presidency that we refer to as core plans. They vary in square footage, but they have the same basic structure. Yeah. But then they also can individualize them with the materials that they use. They're trying to use more local stuff to keep shipping down. And that means because they have these core plans, the time to construct a temple is it from 18 months down to 6 or 7 months of just the construction."
Are these the modular temples?
It might be.
Yeah.
But are the modular temples worldwide? I know that they're very popular in the States. I just don't know. I don't know if they're doing them worldwide or not.
I don't know, but I like that idea because it just makes it go faster.
Yeah, and faster is cheaper.
Yeah, and they're still beautiful.
Yeah, and they're still unique, which I like. Yeah. Like they all have individual little designs and materials that they used. So we'll still have something to talk about.
So I think the first modular one was Helena, Montana.
Yeah, I think I heard that. And we've talked about this, but they make every instruction room able to be a ceiling room and every ceiling room able to be an instruction room. So I think that's another use of the word modular, make it work for what you need. If you have a big ceiling, you can use one of the big rooms.
Yeah. Okay.
If they have more, I don't know. Anyway, so that was just something I had for temple news. Let's talk about Ogden.
Ogden.
Yeah. Okay. Ogden is a city 40 miles north of Salt Lake, between Salt Lake and Logan. And it was once the third biggest city, but now it's the 8th biggest city in the state.
Okay.
And if you don't know what the Ogden and Provo temples looked like when they were built, pause this recording and go look it up or look at our Instagram because it's important to know what they look like. Have a visual just for context. So,
I know it because they are just unique.
Yes, very unique.
And there's just no other temples that look like it.
No, but they are little sister temples. Yeah. And we're going to talk about Provo next time. So they were both announced August 14th, 1967. In Provo, they had a little meeting with stake presidents, and then in Ogden, they had a meeting with 25 stake presidents. And while President McKay is the prophet, he was not at this meeting. He had his counselors, N. Eldon Tanner and Hugh B. Brown. They did these meetings, and they also did the groundbreaking.
Okay. Which was on President David O. McKay's 96th birthday.
That's right. He was 96. Do you want to know a fun fact about Hugh B. Brown?
Okay.
The B stands for Brown. His
Hugh.
name is Hugh Brown.
Cool.
That's all I have to say about that.
Did they just like the way that sounded? Hugh Brown.
Yeah.
That sounds good to me.
Yeah. It's a whole other thing. Okay. Anyway, the architect for these temples, or this temple, is Emil B. Fetzer. His dad, we've seen that name before. His dad was the lead architect in Idaho Falls.
Okay.
But now he is the church architect from 1965 to 1986. So the next several temples are all going to be attributed to him.
Okay.
So we won't have alternating architects or anything. He's the guy. But
these are the only two that looked like how they looked.
Yes. Okay. Yes, but he did, like all the other ones we're going to talk about for the next several months are this guy. And he looks like a nice guy. He also designed on BYU campus, he designed the Smoot building, which I think is a big X. And then he also designed the Kimball Tower on campus. So when he unveiled this design to President McKay and the 12, they kind of gasped. They're like, and then it was really silent. And one of the counselors said to President McKay, "Does this design offend you?" And President McKay responded positively. He said, "No, I like it very much." And he had asked Brother Fetzer to design an economical and functional temple for Ogden and for Provo. Okay. And Fetzer had delivered by creating a temple with an elliptical layout that allowed it to have 6 endowment rooms that feed into one celestial room. Yeah. So that's a very unique design. Yeah. And he did it.
Okay. Awesome. It takes all kinds.
Yeah. We are so happy that they have a temple. Yeah. This is 70-something years after, 79 years after the Salt Lake Temple, which is the last temple that they built in Utah. Right. So it's been... Okay. Yeah. Yes, of course. Because I know that I do these podcasts, but going from the pioneer temples, which felt like a week ago, to 1970s is really like the time warp. Yeah. Yes. We did speed up considerably. Yeah. So it is a unique temple, but very efficient. They wanted to get through this very quickly. I have not been in the Ogden temple for an endowment, but I did go in the Provo one, and I used to think they were ugly, sorry, but after going in there, I'm like, no, this is great. It's beautiful inside, and I'm assuming they were similar, and I was like, this is efficient. Yeah. This was made to get people going. Endowments every 20 minutes. Yeah. You can't beat that.
Yeah. And so I'm like, no, this is great idea. This is nice. Yeah. So inside was a lot nicer than outside.
Yeah. And we have some more about that efficiency. Yeah. The open house was just 2 weeks in December 1971, but they had 150,000 people come through. Yeah. Very quick, but good.
Okay. So I read this somewhere and I read it. Who knows how true, but whatever.
Found it on the internet.
I guess during while visitors were going through, young man slipped an engagement ring onto his girlfriend's finger while they toured the celestial room.
That's cute. I don't know. That's pretty cute.
It is. It is cute.
I'm sure. I don't know if that's just how they wrote it, but I'm sure he proposed.
Yes. Yeah.
He didn't just be like, "Sorry, gotcha."
Surprise! What is this on my finger?
Where'd it come from? Okay. So President McKay passed away in 1970. He was 96 years old. And he was succeeded by Joseph Fielding Smith. Right. And this is the son of Joseph F. Smith, who I call the Hawaiian prophet now. Okay. Because that's how I can identify him. Okay. But President Joseph Fielding Smith, he was already in his 90s. He had been in the 12 since his 30s. I think he and President McKay probably raised their families together because they were both on that same trajectory. Anyway, he dedicated the temple, but he couldn't stand to read the whole prayer, so his counselor, Harold B. Lee, finished reading it for him, and then it was read for him in the other sessions as well. Okay, so I was thinking about this because we just did the Oakland Temple, where President McKay had just had a stroke. Right. And then it was miraculous that he was able to stand and give the prayer and do that, and it was a miracle. And then
here we are in the next one, and he had to stop mid-prayer
Yeah.
and sit down. And I thought, that is something to think about. God doesn't like treat everybody the same.
Interesting, yeah.
And the same miracles aren't given to each person.
I love that.
And like both were okay.
Yeah. It's fine either way.
It's fine either way.
How long did it take us to invent stools, though?
For them to sit on.
Or to make smaller podiums that go up to their chairs like they have now.
Yes. I just think that's something to think about for people who might be being like, why did that person get that and I didn't?
Yes.
Right? It's not meant to be fair.
Well, it's not meant to be equal, but it is meant to be fair.
Yes, thank you.
The prayer got said either way. And I think it's the message like, you get what you need at the time.
Exactly. No,
I'm not saying that miracles are not coming for you. They are, but there will come in a different way. You just
get the miracle you need. And it's all okay. And I thought that was just very interesting.
So good, Janelle. You're so good. Okay, I'm just going to read this excerpt from the dedication. January 18th through the 20th, 1972. This was dedicated by Joseph Fielding Smith. He says, "And now, our Father, we thank thee for thy direction in building temples, wherein the blessings of baptism and of celestial marriage and of eternal life may be made available to the living and the dead. And we thank thee that thou art gathering scattered Israel out of Babylon into thy church and kingdom, so that we may receive the blessings promised in thy holy temples. O Father, hasten the day when righteousness shall prevail, when the rulers of nations shall open their borders to the preaching of the gospel, and when the door of salvation shall swing wide open for the honest and upright and good among every people." So he's praying for temples to scatter the earth, which is what we're getting to.
Yeah.
You know, he wants temples to be available for everyone that's ready.
Yeah. So I think we're getting more missionaries too.
The next paragraph was about missionaries.
Okay.
I wasn't going to read it, but I didn't. Okay. But yeah, he's prayed for the missionaries as well.
Yeah, and they were trying to get in more countries.
Yeah, this was still during the Cold War. I'm sure that was a little bit of what he was talking about.
Yeah, well, if you read President Nelson, the one that Sherry Dew wrote about President Nelson's life, he had a lot of work that he did in those Eastern countries to try and open them for missionary work. And it is a miracle, and they needed prayers to get in there. Yeah,
praying for it all the time. Yeah. During the first month of service, so as soon as this temple opened, this temple outperformed the other 4 operating temples in Utah combined. Okay, why do you think that is? Because I have some ideas.
Well, definitely the video.
Yes, the other temples were still doing live endowments.
And you didn't move from room to room.
Sure.
And they were every 20 minutes.
Yeah, that helps.
And obviously the people wanted to go.
Yeah.
There were people filling those seats.
People excited about it. Yeah. For sure. But yeah, I was thinking like the video, because I had to go back and check when did those get updated.
Okay.
And most of them were 1975 or later.
Okay.
So I think maybe they saw this in a temple that was busy and seeing how fast they could do it. And maybe they did renovate those so that people stayed in one room, which is a little bit backwards. And we're glad that you still get to see all the murals now. But yeah, it did make things quicker, hasten the work. Yeah. Hastened right along.
Before President Smith gave the dedicatory prayer, he told the people in attendance, "May I remind you that when we dedicate a house of the Lord, what we really do is dedicate ourselves to the Lord's service, with a covenant that we shall use the house in the way he intends that it shall be used."
I like it.
So,
little reminder.
Yeah. And obvious because they went there and they did a lot.
They did a lot. More than all those temples combined.
Yeah, that's amazing.
In 1 month.
The 10-acre site, they called Tabernacle Square.
Right.
The church had owned it for like forever. Yeah. Like since pioneer times.
Yeah, since they set up the town. They were like, it's downtown.
Yeah.
Nice flat.
And they had a tabernacle there that they tore down, and they must have built a new one because they have they have a bigger stake building. I forget what
on
they
the
called
grounds.
it. Yeah.
Well, I just know about the tabernacle. So
Yeah. And the historic Ogden tabernacle, they have it. It was the last one they built. Like the church used to build tabernacles.
Right. Yeah. And this came up in Oakland as well because they were thinking, let's build a tabernacle. But then it was like, well, we actually need it to have a lot of uses.
Yeah.
So that's why they did like a gym and auditorium. So that wasn't technically a tabernacle, but this sounds like the last tabernacle
that you think of when you think of a tabernacle.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they moved. No, this was in the renovation.
Right.
There was I can tell you what was on the land, and then you'll know they moved it. Let's see, the Weber Stake Relief Society Hall.
Yes.
And the Utah Daughters of the Utah Pioneers have it as a museum now, and they moved it off-site.
Oh, okay.
So, and there was a cabin, the Miles Goodyear cabin, that was on that site, and they moved that to the museum too.
Okay.
Anyway.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Still preserving them, but making room for the temple.
Yep.
Okay. This was dedicated within a month of Provost's dedication, so that was the first time two were dedicated in the same month. Now we do them on the same day sometimes.
Because when I read that, I'm like, that is not true. I'm sure that Manti and...
Right. I looked it up.
Yeah.
Those were ground broken the same month, or was it?
Okay, so
announced?
I can't.
Oh no, they were done in the same year.
One was done within a month of each other, but this one was done in the same month. So they're both in like September or whatever that was.
Yeah.
They were both dedicated in September.
Sure.
The other time, it was just within a month of each other.
Okay, and it was designed to have a Moroni, but they didn't put a Moroni on until 2002.
Yeah.
Just 30 years later. And then they also painted the spire white at that time.
So that the Moroni would stand out, because the spire was gold.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the Moroni stood out more because the spire was white. Mm-hmm.
I'll save my comments. But I just think, like, if this was 2002, they were like, let's put a Moroni on. Which makes me think they were not thinking of renovating it at that time.
Yeah.
So, but then in 8 years later, they're like, we're going to redo the whole thing.
Yep.
I don't know. That's just... Here's my controversy.
Okay.
You ready?
Yeah.
The architect, Emil Fetzer, had passed away 3.5 months before they made the announcement that they were going to renovate it.
Yeah.
Is that a controversy? Is it a coincidence?
Don't think so.
The rest of his temples are they're not going to have this treatment. Ogden and Provo.
Yeah. I think they did it out of respect to him.
Okay.
To wait till he had passed.
Yeah, okay.
That's what I think.
We also believe in life after death, but okay.
Yeah. Then they don't have to deal with... Heaven can deal with the sadness or whatever. I think he won't care.
No, probably not.
So, but they must have been thinking about it, because 3.5 months isn't very long.
Right.
But I don't know, whatever.
Yeah, that's true.
It was the first temple dedicated in the state of Utah.
Right.
Not the territory of Utah. So the other ones were in the territory.
Now we're a state.
State.
But that was still like 60 years, 70 years after we became a state. But...
And it has 6 instruction rooms, which only 4 other temples have, which is Provo, Jordan River, and Washington, D.C. So that is a lot of instruction rooms.
It is. It makes things very efficient.
The reason for why they built it there. So I think they started coming up with a system of where to... I think this was the beginning of where to build temples.
Yeah.
Which kind of goes with the other podcast where you were talking about the predictions of where they're going to announce temples. They do the statistics, and in the mid-60s, 52% of all ordinance work was performed in 3 temples: Logan, Manti, and Salt Lake. So they knew that they needed...
Those were busy ones.
Another temple, more temples in the area.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's still one of the busiest Ogden is.
Is it?
It is. That's one where Olivia predicted there will be another one announced in this area.
I did listen.
But she did make a lot of predictions.
Yeah.
So that's the one she thinks in Utah. It has 64 stakes in its district.
What?
Even like Wyoming is in 3 stakes in Wyoming are in this temple district. So
wow.
We'll see. I mean, this is going to come out after conference, but we are still pre-conference, so we're wondering if that's going to happen.
Okay.
Yeah. So
we'll
excited.
Find out next time.
Yeah. And as they were doing the renovation. Okay, so let's talk about this renovation.
Yeah. Okay.
They just announced we're going to tear down the outside, leave the inside good bones, they said.
Okay.
And just redo the exterior to make it look more like what they were building at the time, which was like Draper.
Yeah.
We should come up with a name for this style, because I think it's like mountain.
Okay. Yeah.
Square mountain
temple. Square with a spire in the center?
Yeah.
Yes.
And the temple's going to get smaller, but it's going to be more efficient. Okay. They lose a little square footage, but they make up for it in the efficiency. And yeah.
Did you look at pictures of the renovation?
Of course.
Because I was like thinking, how did they get rid of the outside and not hurt the inside?
Well, they then tore it to the studs, really.
Yeah. And then even when I look at the renovation pictures, I'm like, it looks like they just tore everything down. I just couldn't tell.
I mean, when they say they left the bones, they mean like the steel frame of the temple.
Okay.
Like nothing in the inside is original that you can see.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, because I could not find pictures of the inside of the original. It is very beautiful. It's very beautiful. But I did see a short YouTube video. It just was showing pictures. Actually, it was a really neat video because it would show it looked like some drone footage and just pictures. And it would show like the current and then the old. Mm-hmm. And you can see what they changed because they took the spire off that large stake center.
Yeah.
It had a spire.
Tabernacle.
Yes. And they took the spire off of that.
Yeah, I noticed that too.
Which I think it looks really great. And I like that they did that. Anyways, and so they do show in there one picture of the old baptistry.
Okay.
That was the only picture that I think was an old picture from the inside.
Okay.
And it's a new baptistry. It's a new font.
Yeah.
I couldn't really tell if the oxen were older or newer, but the actual font part was different. Anyways.
No, it's good to know.
There you know. There you go.
Yeah.
I thought you'd like to know that.
I do want to know that all the time. I want to know it. Yeah, so it took 4 years to do this renovation. They basically tore it down, built it right back up.
Yeah.
And tore down the steeple of the tabernacle. The inside, they used, this is my fun fact, a desert rose and prairie grass motif.
Yeah, I love it. It's really pretty.
For the prophecy that they would make the desert blossom as a rose.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. I love that because, it was a desert when they came here. Look at what's in millions of people. So,
yeah. I think it's very pretty. Even on there's a picture of like the detail of a table and it has a rose. So I'm going to put that in the Instagram. But in the carpeting, in the light fixtures, they just have so much detail in this. Like on the pillars, they've got details and there's just, it's a little ornate. Yeah, but not cluttered.
Right.
It's classy.
It is. It's really gorgeous. And the bride's room is just the carpet in there. It's just gorgeous.
It's very ornate.
And so I'm so glad they take pictures now.
I know. It's so worth it. In this region, south of Ogden, you have the Layton and Bountiful temples operating, and the Syracuse temple will be dedicated in a few months. To the north is Brigham City and Logan temples, and there is also a temple in Smithfield under construction. So, as I said, this temple district has 64 stakes in Utah and Wyoming. That is a really big district.
I think I really underestimate how big Salt Lake County is because they kept getting temples announced there. And I'm like, okay, what about Utah Valley? We need some here because I can hardly get into my temple. And we're getting some, but I just underestimate how huge
north of Salt Lake is.
Yeah.
So we'll see in a few weeks for us.
The cornerstone ceremony, they did not have it for the 2014 rededication.
Why?
Because the cornerstone from the 1972 dedication was still in place and its contents were unopened, so there was no need to replace it.
Okay, which leads me to ask, do they do a time capsule in every temple?
They must.
They must, right?
Yeah.
We haven't had a lot of information about that, but I guess they do.
Okay.
And
that's a great question to find out.
In this one, if there was information out there, I think we would have come across it. Like, what did they put in this cornerstone? And I just don't know. Because I haven't come across that in any other temple except Salt Lake.
Okay, right. We're going to be asking the internet because I don't know.
They put coins in, they put books, they put newspapers.
When we went to St. George, their cornerstone
they had a time capsule?
They had a time capsule of some sort, and maybe it was in the tabernacle because that's where we were. The tabernacle had a time capsule in it, and they had put wine in there.
Interesting.
Because they, at the time, were trying to figure out what crops to grow, and they were trying grapes, and they put wine in there, but then the wine,
did it
bottle...
More like how not to put in the time capsule.
Don't put liquid in the time capsule.
It's like the opposite of what you want.
Yeah, but maybe that was just for the tabernacle there.
I don't remember which temple it was. My brain is so full of temple facts.
Yeah, I know, right?
But at either this one or Oakland, they took a Polaroid of the ceremony, so of the ceremony for the cornerstone, and put that in the time capsule. Okay. Because Polaroids, you can do that now. Do you want to talk about the exterior? Do you have that?
Well, I do want to say that the old design of the Ogden Temple, when you look at from outside when it's dark and the lights are on, it's really pretty.
Yeah.
Like there's windows between those slat things. And they had designs on them, so when the light shone through, it was really pretty. So, yeah.
And we should probably mention what he was going for was the pillar of fire by night and a cloud by day, which nailed it.
Yeah.
Got that perfect. And it does look pretty at night. It's like all lit up and glowing.
Yeah. So,
but the gold, I think the gold spire, that's not something we've seen.
Yeah.
And it really makes it, I don't know, a different vibe.
Yeah.
It's really pretty.
I liked the gold spire.
Yeah. And then they painted it white because they put a Moroni on it. Well, we're going to talk about all of this again next time because they did all of the same things in Provo. Yeah. So I apologize to our listeners, but
Provo is still under construction. Yes. No, I guess they have maybe...
I'm looking forward to learning about it.
Yeah. Anyways, it's beautiful on the outside. It's like gray granite or whatever. Yeah. I don't actually know.
Which is appropriate because it's right outside Rock Canyon, which is very pretty.
Yeah.
We got to save it.
Okay.
No spoilers.
Okay. We had just moved to Utah when they were doing the open house for the Ogden Temple for this renovation. And so at some point we had to go back up to Canada because that's where we lived or had moved from. And so we were in our traveling clothes. And I thought, let's just stop there, go through, and then get back on our way back to Canada to visit. Anyways, so we're in our traveling clothes. we felt, they don't care what you wear, but lots of people are dressed in their Sunday clothes. And here's my son in his shorts and those workout shirts that have like no sleeves and those really long. Is it even a shirt? I don't know. Anyway, and so we're all in our travel clothes going through the temple. But it was still beautiful. Nobody said anything, which I'm very glad about. Yeah, because you never know.
They shouldn't.
No,
but you didn't even tell me you'd been through the open house at this temple.
Yeah, there you go. I went through. It's probably because
it was 11 years ago.
Yes, it was 11 years ago, and I don't really remember.
But you guys are very diligent about going to these open houses.
I really, yeah. I I'll say I regret a little bit. There were a couple we didn't go to that I'm like, why didn't we go there?
Well, you're busy.
Yeah, I like taking my kids when they can't, like before they received their endowments, because then they can go in there and experience it and feel it and hopefully feel connection to it. So I do like taking my kids to open houses.
Good job.
Yeah.
I'm impressed.
Yeah.
I got tired of doing that one day. Well, we'll save those stories for when we get there, but it'll be a few years.
Yeah.
So when it was rededicated was 2014 by President Thomas S. Monson. He was the prophet. And when I read the dedicatory prayers by like Hinckley or Monson, I'm like, I can hear their voice in my head. You can see it in the way the sentences are constructed.
Yeah.
It's just in my head. They're like my grandparents. Okay, ready for our facts and stats? Okay, it was announced August 24th, 1967. The site was dedicated September 8th, 1969. This was President McKay's birthday. And then it was dedicated January 18th through 20th, 1972 by Joseph Fielding Smith, and rededicated September 21st, 2014 by Thomas S. Monson. The site's 10 acres, and the exterior they now have a granite from China.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
They wouldn't do that now. It's beautiful granite. And it has 6 instruction rooms. This is the first time we've seen any more than 4.
Yeah.
We've seen 4, 3, 2, and 1. I don't think we've seen 3.
No.
9 ceiling rooms and 1 baptistry. Originally, the square footage was 130,000 square feet. Now it's 112,232 square feet. So it got a little smaller. But they assure us that it's more efficient.
I think they got rid of some dead space or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they reconfigured a couple rooms, but mostly it's the same floor plan that it was before. And it's 188 feet 8 inches with the Moroni up there. They used the same one from before.
Okay.
They reused it, refurbished it.
Nice.
Made it beautiful.
I should say that the baptistry is really beautiful. They have some large art in there.
Oh, that's true.
And it is just really beautiful. The cream colors with the art that's naturey.
Yeah, it's like forest and streams.
And the celestial room has a dome in the ceiling. And
natural light.
Yeah, it lets in the natural light. But, I got to say that after saying that about natural light in the Oakland one, I went back and looked at the pictures. I'm like, actually, they did a really good job at the lighting.
All right.
That it actually was nice. So
and a professional photograph.
I guess I'll have to go and find out. But this dome is really pretty, and they've got these pillar lights too. I feel like it's just a unique.
Yeah, wonderful place.
Yeah, they've got some unique and stuff in there that's really beautiful.
Okay.
Can I share this about so this is when they still did youth celebrations the night before. They did that for a little while, and I think they've stopped doing that.
But they did one for the renovation.
Yes, they did one for the renovation. And President Monson said during that ceremony, the Ogden Temple stands as a beacon of righteousness to all who will follow its light, the light of the gospel of Jesus Christ. And in the cultural celebration, that motif was, the theme was share the light. And then part of it was during the performances, they'd have a lantern prop that would travel from scene to scene, emphasizing the youth's role to shine the light of Christ on a dark world everywhere they go. And I just kind of like that because, another temple that they call a beacon, and there's a few other temples, I think they say that word a lot, beacon, that it's showing us the way back to God and the path we should follow, and that we can share this light that we have with all the people around us. So I just like that vision of light and beacons and everything. So there you go.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Thank you. All right. I think that's all we got.
Yeah.
Thank you for being with us as we discuss the Ogden, Utah temple. If you have more stories about this or another temple, please share it with us on our Instagram and Facebook pages at Every Temple Podcast. And if you learned something, please share this podcast with a friend. We should be available anywhere podcasts are available. We will see you in the next episode where we talk about the Provo, Utah temple, and we'll try not to repeat ourselves. If you want to learn more about why we build temples and the role they play in our religion, please visit churchofjesuschrist.org/temples. We are not sponsored by or affiliated with the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.